I hate my mother. I hate my father. I hate my parents. If you really don't want your children to think that about you, then you are in the right place. We are going to talk about that right now. Now look, sometimes people have this relationship with their own parents. You know, you feel like you hate your own mother, or you hate your own father, or you hate your parents the way you were raised. There's so many things you have, like anger towards your parents from your own childhood. And you don't want to pass that down to your own children. You really don't. You really want to do this right. You want to be a good parent. You want your not only to be a good parent, but you want your children to love you, to respect you, to enjoy being around you, to find you someone that they want to spend time with. That is what we're going to talk about today. So check it out. Hi, I'm Lisa Fournier with Miracle Maker Mom. I am a mother of 8, parent recovering from parenting chaos turned parenting coach, and I love parenting moms and dads with awesome parenting tools. I mean, this is my passion. So if you are new here, feel free to subscribe, like, share, do all those lovely things because you're gonna love it here. Now, do you have this feeling like you don't want to mess this up? Look, you've got kids, you can only raise them once, and everyone says that it goes very quickly, and I promise you it really does. I can't believe my baby is 18 years old. I'm crazy. I mean, he's not the youngest, he's not my baby, he's only 5, but I'm saying my oldest is 18 years old already. It's crazy. You don't want to mess this up. Maybe you had a bad relationship with your parents. Maybe you had a bad relationship with one of your parents, your mother, your father, and you always felt like you hate them and you just wanted to disown them as parents, and you don't want to make these mistakes. Or maybe you're just finding that right now your child has said to you a few times, I hate you, I hate you, I never want to see you again. I mean, kids say crazy things, and I am totally here for you. I'm here with you, and I'm here for you, and if you want to leave in the comments below exactly what you're going through, I am totally ready to respond and help and whatever, because I'm here for you. And this is a no judgment zone, so no one judge anybody else, because you never know what they're going through because you haven't been through it yourself. If you don't want to go through that, you want to have a relationship where your kids think you're awesome. They love spending time with you. They think that having their friends over to see mom or dad is so cool, and they look forward to spending time with you. If you want to have an amazing relationship with your kids, then this is what we're going to do. Well, number one is that you have to work on it. It doesn't always come naturally to everyone that just everybody likes me. Especially when it's your kids. Why? Why so more your kids than anybody else? Like maybe the neighbors all like me, my coworkers all like me, my brothers and sisters like me. Well, now that we've grown up and we don't live together, everyone else likes me. Why do my kids like this? Because you know what? Your kids are the people, first of all, who live in your own home, and they see you even when you're tired and when you're exhausted and when you're a little crazy. And your kids also are people that you have to discipline. You don't have to discipline your coworkers at work. I mean, most of the time, your kids are people that you have to discipline and you have to say no to, and you're the authority figure, and they don't always like that. So what do? Number one is you've got to work on being a role model. You have to work on being someone that they love and look up to, okay? Picture someone in your life that you look up to. Someone that if you had a chance to just spend an hour with them or spend a day with them, you would die to do that. Someone that you look up to, that is really an awesome person. You want to model after that. I'm not telling you to go and be someone else. I'm telling you to model. What do they do that makes people look up to them? What do they do that makes them into a person that you really want to spend time with? You want to learn how to be a role model. A role model is someone that people look up to. They're like, yeah, I want to be like that person. You want to, another thing you have to learn how to be a role model. You also want to learn how to be someone that is, that your kids like enjoy, love spending time with. That means that you need to spend time doing fun things together. Spend time doing, it's not just all about homework and chores and get out the door and we got to do this next and do that next, because sometimes like I feel like there's so much that we have to accomplish in life, with working and running to school and all the errands and all the, activities that kids do. There's just family obligations. You feel like sometimes you're just shuffling them around from here to there and there to there. Sometimes you just need to take a day off and spend the day together. Sometimes you need to book a time every week or every night. Every night we've got this 20 minutes together. Every week we spend these couple hours together. Every month we go on an outing. Something that you can just make your relationship awesome. And in that time, when you have specific relationship building time, you can call it mommy and me time, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to do, you have to make that time is no negative zone. You can't tell your child what to do. Because if you tell your child what to do over and over and over, they consider that negative. You can't tell your child off. You can't tell them they did something wrong. You can't tell them no. Mom and me time, can we go climb the Empire State Building? No, I don't mean that. I mean that you can't make it into a negative time. You want to spend that time that you have together, the building relationship time, just positive, just building positive. Relationship building stories. You want to tell them stories. You want to just have conversation. Tell them about your day. Ask about what they're going on in their life. Just share stories. And when there's a lull in the conversation, you don't know what to say next. Share something that you're going through. Share something funny that happened to you at work. Share something that you saw on social media that you think is hysterical. Ask them their opinion about something. There's so many ways to start a conversation. And you know what? When you really start these conversations in a way that you really want to hear the answer, you learn a lot about your child. You learn a lot about what goes on inside of them and how they feel about things and what they want to discover and what they don't know and what they want to learn about. These are amazing times. So first of all, you need to build yourself into a role model. Build yourself into someone that you want to be for your child, okay? So sometimes that's taking a personal development class. Sometimes that's taking a parenting class because, you don't know how to be the right kind of role model for your child in a parenting situation. There's so many different ways to, just to maybe you want to make a journal every day of, things that you can do to become a role model, someone that your child looks up to and wants to please and wants to spend time with. Secondly, you've got to make those connection times. You've got to have, for every child, individual, undivided attention, at least 10 minutes a day. Okay, so maybe it's at bedtime you want to sit, or maybe it's after the little kids went to bed, you want to go for a walk with your older kid or sit out on the deck with them or play a game of something, or that you've always got to have some connection time, at least, bare minimum basis is 10 minutes of undivided individual attention every day. Personally, for my little kids, I sit and rub their back and I talk to them in the bedtime. Of course, I read stories also, but in addition to that, older kids, it's usually after the little kids have gone to bed and we'll just sit and talk, or we'll go for a walk together, or we'll, sit at the table, or sometimes we play cards, it's just something that you can have undivided individual attention. Sometimes it does end up being a group of 2 kids together with you or 3, but we're not talking about the entire family. And even if you do those nice 2-3 kids together, you still got to get at least a few minutes of individual undivided attention with one kid alone, because that's so important for them. The next thing that you want to do in order to get to the point where your child doesn't hate you is to have good parenting techniques. You have to know what you're, have in mind what you're doing and be consistent about it. And you have to know what you're doing a little bit, because sometimes, you feel like this is the right thing to do. And then you realize later that was bad and that made the kid hate me. Sometimes you do have to be consistent and strong, even if the kid is angry with you, But you have to a little bit know what you're doing. Find good parenting techniques. Get good parenting tools. Know what you're doing. Because you know what? When you don't know what you're doing, it shows. That's all I'm saying. I'm not judging anyone, honestly, because I've been there myself. I have such crazy stories of my kids walking all over me, doing such crazy things, people looking at me like I'm absolutely insane mother. I have no idea what I'm doing. And you know what? I really didn't. I really didn't know what I was doing. When I had 4 little kids, I literally had an insane life because I had no idea what I was doing. And thank goodness for this very kind-hearted, good neighbor who stood up to the plate and told me as it was, go out and get good parenting skills. Do something. Don't do nothing. Do something. You've got to do something, because if you really don't know what you're doing in parenting, then you're going to end up with, difficult interactions, because maybe you'll give your kid some kind of consequence or punishment that is totally over and above what it should be. Or sometimes you won't give your child a consequence at all when they really need one. Sometimes you'll feel like, you're not consistent because you're not really sure what to do next. And that creates, a bad relationship with your kid. You know what I'm saying? You want to have a positive relationship, but if you're at the same time, on one hand, you're trying to build yourself up to be a good role model. On the other hand, you're trying to get good relationship with your child and spend time with them. But at the same time, you're totally all over the place with what rule, what are the family rules? What are the house rules? What do you what is your consequence? And you really don't know what you're doing. That's going to create for some friction in your relationship. So I highly encourage you to get some good parenting tools, good parenting. Sometimes you really have the tools, you just don't know when to implement what. So having talking it over with a friend or a sister or a good parent who's your neighbor, or sometimes a parenting coach would be really helpful. Sometimes you just don't have the tools at all, you don't know what you're doing. So maybe you want to take a parenting course, or you want to read some good books out there. Any of those things just to pump up, boost your parenting skills, because that is so, so important. If you are dealing with kids who are not listening to you and you have no idea what to do, I have a number of people who have requested that I should just give them some content in that. But the problem was that there was just way too much to put into a 10-minute YouTube video. So what I did was I put it into a webinar for you, just like I made slides. I wrote out the entire thing for you. So I will leave that in the description below in case you are dealing with kids not listening and you just don't know what to do next. I have given you a very full video, like a slideshow video webinar on exactly the tools to get your kids to listen, respect you, while still having a relationship with them. And I think you're going to love that, so you can check that out. I know that you love this video because you are still here. So if you could please like it and share it and subscribe it, and I will see you later.